All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday, post Labor Day. And I am e.jean Pemberton Jones, the professor for OPM Training School. We are here live in Duncanville, Texas. And I know it's been a while since we've done a live video, many reasons. I wanted to give the students who are here an opportunity to really get acquainted with their information. Plus, we were on a very tight schedule. So I wanted to make sure that as it relates to that, they had an opportunity to really shape their plan as they prepare to get their GED before the Christmas holiday. I do want to celebrate and congratulate. I have a few students that have taken the pretest for science, and I think, I posted it. So they're actually preparing to take the test, as well as I do have some students that are preparing to take their math test. So I want to send a shout out and congratulations to some of those students. Some of them were with me before the summer began. So if you just started, please don't feel like, oh my goodness. They've been with me for a little longer, and so I'm very excited for them. For some, this is their last test. So they are preparing to get their GED. Now, for more information about getting your GED, make sure you go to our website, which is www.opmtrainingschool.education. That's opmtrainingschool.education. What I'm going to do is, and hopefully this camera will continue to be live. If not, I will reconnect us so that you can get as much of this lesson as possible. Today we're going to focus on geometry, and in that I want to go over a few problems that I've discussed with my students from my earlier class in Grand Prairie, and I'm discussing it with my Duncanville class tonight, preparing for my class on Wednesday morning as well. Today is a short week, so I just felt that it will be important for me to make this one live because it's quite a bit of information to try to grasp in a short period of time and to make sure we stay on schedule. So if you're not with us, just to understand, we did basic math, which is what we call numbers and operations. And in that, we talked about word problems, we dealt with fractions, we dealt with ratios, proportions, and stuff like that. If you are my student, then you have videos in your Google Classroom as relates to each component in the numbers and operations part of the math section for our lessons. Now we're moving past that and we are in geometry. I want to do geometry for the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, I wanted to do 2 weeks, but I may do 3. Just it all depends on how my students catch on to this information. But I definitely want to push through this as efficiently as possible so that we can be prepared for algebra and data and functions. And then we'll conclude, and then we'll do a huge review. Excuse me. And my students will be ready to take their math, right? They're looking at me like, oh, thank you very much. Thank you, 2 or 3 out of more than 2 or 3. Now, I also want to plug this in. Starting next week, we will lead up to, and we'll do math up to 8:30, and then from 8:30 to 9:30, we're going to do our writing lab. So if that's the part of the GED that you're struggling with, which is math for your reasoning with language arts test, we are going to do a writing lab starting next week on Monday and Tuesday mornings at my Grand Prairie locations. That will be towards the end of the class. And then in the evening from 8:30 to 9:30, the last part of the class here in Duncanville, Texas. And then, of course, my Wednesday class will be doing that as well. So I set September as the month to wrap up with the math, but also to develop a component to help develop us in our writing, because that essay has been a challenge for quite a few students towards getting their GED. Again, for more information and to register, please go to our website, which is www.opmtrainingschool.education. That's opmtrainingschool.education. All right, so I pray that with this microphone you can hear me, because I know my voice goes in and out, up and down, soft and something like that. And so that's the reason why I have a microphone. Let me kind of straighten it out a little bit. It looks like it's kind of crooked there. All right, so now the first thing I want to do, and this is for my students who have a copy of this, I am working out of the Steck Von book. It is a book that is on my website, opmtrainingschool.education, and it is, again, a popular book because it is getting expensive again. It was 20 something, 30 something, 40 something. I just looked on Amazon.com and it is $70 for a brand new book. So it is increasing in the cost, which means it's probably also getting a higher demand. So if you don't have this book, it is one of my favorite books. And last year they ran out of print for about 4 to 5 months. So many students ask me which book do I prefer. That is my preference. I also put the Kaplan one for $2.19 as another option as well. But if you ask me what my preference is, that's my preference. Can you turn the air down just a little bit? Hit that button going down one. I'm having the old folks high flash. There we go. Thank you. All right. So now we're going to do out of the GED review for geometry and data analysis. And this is the sheet. In that book, it's on page 520, and we are going to do problems number 2, problem number 2, 3, problems number 2, 3, 4, and if I can, I want to also do problem number 8. So we'll do problems 2, 3, 4, and 8 if we have enough time, all right? And for those of you who are my students, you know my expectations is for you to work this so that we can have it mastered within the next couple of weeks, okay? So let's look at problem number 2. I'm going to say what it is, and I apologize it's not written for those of you who are watching, but if you are watching, you can, of course, stop and start again the video. All right, so the problem says this. The exam scores for a math class are 75, 90, 90, 80, 85, 70, 95, 100, 85, 90, and 80. I'm going to say it again. The exam scores for a math class are 75, 90, 90, 80, 85, 70, 95, 100, 85, 90, and 80. For these scores, fill in each box with the word mean, median, or mode in order to make the inequality true. Okay, so we're looking for which one is true as it relates to mean, median, and mode. And the box is letting us know as it relates to inequality, which is greater than or less than. Okay, when we speak about inequality, we're speaking about what is greater than or less than. So those of you who have taken math with me before know this, that when you see a list of numbers, what's the first thing we do? We put them in numerical order. So those of you in class with me right now, let's start writing and get these numbers and put them in numerical order. Let's go, let's go, let's go. And I'm going to write them on the board as well for those of you who were watching. So we're going to put them in numerical order. The first number we have is 70. So we'll write 70 on the board. Okay. And then we have 75, right? And we only have those numbers once. The next number is 80. And I believe we have 2 80s. Correct? Or is it 3? We have 2. And then the next one is 85. We have 2 of those, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then we have 3 90s, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll write 90 up here 3 times. And then the next one we have is 95 and then 100, correct?
Yes.
All right. And I believe that's 11 numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right. So the numbers that were given to us, and these are the exam scores for a math class, is 70, 75, 80, 80, 85, 85, 90, 90, 90, 95, and 100. So that lets us know there were 11 students, and those are their exam scores. Okay, so when you see a list of numbers, just put it in your mind on the GED exam. When you see a list of numbers, what you want to do is go ahead and put those numbers in numerical order. Okay, that's the first thing you want to do, because now we're going to have to get what is called the mean, the median, and the mode. Okay, so we're going to have to determine the mean, the median, and the mode. Okay, the mean is the average of the sum of these numbers. Okay, so can someone please add those numbers up in your calculator? Everybody has a calculator. Let's add it up. Get your fingers working. Let's add those numbers up, and then we're going to divide it by 11 because we have the total of 11 numbers. So we're going to divide the total sum of all of those numbers by 11. Okay, and that's going to be our mean, which is the average of those numbers. Okay. Now, hopefully everybody get it right.
Divided by 11.
Okay. All right. What do we have? No, ma'am. Missed out on the number.
85.
85 point what?
45.
Okay. Yeah, speak up. 85.45. That's it. 85.45. That's correct. Okay, so you add all the numbers and then you divide it by 11 and you should get 85.45. So if you didn't get that, you didn't add something. You missed a number. You skipped a number. In the total sum, you skipped a number. All right? All right, so now we know what our mean is because we add all these numbers and then we divided it by 11, and so our number for the mean is 85.45. Now the median is the number in the middle, in the center. Okay, we have a total of 11 numbers, so the number in the center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is 85. Okay, so we're going to do 85. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the middle number. Okay, so it's 5 on this side, 5 on this side. Now, if it was an even number, you would just add the two middle numbers together, divided by 2, and that would be the median. Okay, so if it was a total of 12 numbers, you would just add the two middle numbers, okay, and then you would divide it by 2, and that's your median. But since this is an odd number, the middle number is 85. Now the mode is the number that repeats itself the most, and that's going to be 90. Okay, that's going to be 90. That's the mode. We have a couple of numbers that repeats itself. We have 80, we have 85, but 90 is the number that repeats itself the most. Therefore, it's going to be 90. So our mean is 85.45, our median is 85, and our mode is 90. So now it's asking us to put it in the order to make the inequality true. And what it has for inequality is this. Okay, so the lesser number is going to be what?
85.
So it's the median, it's 85. And it said use the word that describes it. And then next is what? The mean. And then it's the what? Mode. Very good. Okay. Because what this asks for is not the number, but it says fill in each box with the word mean, median, or mode in order to make the inequality true. So if you complete that, if you fill in the blanks with the number, your answer is incorrect because it said fill it in with a word. And in your GED test, you will have some fill in the blanks. Okay, there will not be all multiple choice. There will be some fill in the blanks. Okay, yes. You had a question? You want?
The test is computer test or is it paper?
It is computer, and you can type. Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. And it has drop downs and all types of things. But it is computer. Good question. So the GED test is no longer, let me just say in Texas, is computer generated. I can't speak for other states, but definitely in Texas. All right, so that's answered question number 2 for the GED review, geometry and data analysis. All right, so the first thing we did was it gave us a whole bunch of numbers. We put those numbers in numerical order, and then we determined the mean, the median, and the mode. To determine the mean, which is the average, we added all of the numbers together and we divided the total sum of the numbers with the amount of numbers that it gave us or provided to us, which was 11. So our average was 85.45. To get the median, it's the middle number, which was 85. And then to get the mode was the number that repeats itself the most, okay? Which means we were able to get the inequality to make it true. Median was less than the mean, which is less than the mode, okay? So that's how you did that. Now, sometimes it may ask you for the range. And in order to get the range of the number, which this particular question did not, but I want to plug it in order to get the range, you subtract the smallest number from the largest number, and that would be 30. Okay, so if it asks you for the range, you would subtract the larger number from the smaller number from the larger number, and that's how you get the range. So that would be 30. Okay, because 70 is a smaller, and you subtract 70 from 100, and that equals 30. Okay, so it may ask for the range, and you need to know that. Okay, so that's the mean, median, mode, and the range. All right, everybody got your notes? You should not be writing on your test. You should be writing on a separate sheet of paper, please, so you can reuse your test. Rules for Professor Jones. Everybody knows my rule. Save my trees, or somebody's trees. All right, let's go to question number 3. Question number 3. And does anybody need to take a picture of this? I know it's on video, but if you want to take a picture, you go ahead and do that. I'm going to step back out of the camera for my individuals who want to take a quick picture. Quickly. We are live. Quickly. We are live. Quickly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, camera's down. I'm not letting them take a picture of me and put it on Facebook, and I'm looking like I'm somewhere in the desert. Huh? You said what?
I need to look at it.
Well, come on now. We got to move forward. Quickly. All right. What are we doing with the camera? Okay, you got to wait. Yeah, just to watch the video. All right, let's look at question number 3. Question number 3. We're going to go ahead and erase. All right, so question number 3 says this. The ratio of the circumference of circle A to the circumference of circle B is 2 to 1. What is the ratio of the area of circle A to the area of circle B? Okay, so I'm going to say it again. The ratio of the circumference, and I'm going to do a little different than I did this morning, guys. So if you're watching, it's going to be just a little different. But the ratio of the circumference of a circle A to the circumference of circle B is 2 to 1. What is the ratio of the area of circle A to the area of circle B? Now, those of you who are in my class, go ahead and get your sheet out that has the formula. Get your sheet out that has the formula, please. GED formula. Okay, get that sheet of paper out. Okay, it says GED formula. Get it out. Yes, that's it. Thank you. Get it out. Let's go. It says GED. Show that sheet, Bridget, so they can see. All right, thank you. There you go. That's it right there. That's it. Yes, sir. There you go right there. That's it. Yep, that's it. All right, y'all wave it up so she can see it. This is what it looks like. All right, get that out. Now let's go ahead and work the problem. Let's work the problem, okay? So we have the ratio of the circumference of circle A to the circumference of circle B, A to B, okay? So whenever we say A to B, we're dealing with geometry, but that's a ratio, A to B, okay? Everybody this way? Look this way. All right, so we're going to say A to B, okay? Because it's the same thing as A colon to B. So A to B is A to B. And just remember this, okay? When it says this to this, That means you put it as a colon, the first one on the left side of the colon, the second one on the right side of the colon, then you create your fraction. Okay? This to this is this to this. Okay? Left to right is top to bottom. Everybody got it? Left to right is top to bottom. And I know it looks probably the opposite, those of you who are watching me on the video. But left to right is top to bottom. That's how you set up your ratio for your fraction. So we know A to B. Now, it tells us this, that in that, it's the same thing as 2 to 1. Okay? It's the same thing as 2 to 1. Right? So 2 equals what? A, and 1 equals what?
B.
B. Very good. So we'll do it here. We'll do it right there. 2 to 1. Okay? Now, what is the ratio of the area of a circle, circle A, to the area of circle B? Okay? Area. So everybody get your formula out for area. Okay? For the circle. Everybody has your formula out. And what does the formula say for the area?
Side
2. For the circle. For the circle.
circle.
Look for circles at the top. Look for circle. Okay. Keep going.
Radius squared.
Okay. All right. So what it is A equals pi times radius square. Okay. It is pi times radius square. All right. So it's the same thing as, so first of all, the circumference we know is pi times the radius. Okay. So, but to get the area is pi times radius square. No, pi times diameter. Sorry about that. So let's look at it. We have 2 over 1. And if we say that it's pi times radius square, we know that in our answer, we're going to keep pi, so we're not going to mess with pi, which is 3.14. We're just going to go ahead and replace it. Okay? So we're going to say A equals, okay, we're going to 2 square, right, times what? Pi. Okay? And this is B equals 1 square times what? Pi. Okay? All right. Now, once we've completed that and we filled it in, 2 square is the same thing as what? 2 times what? 2 times 2. So we're going to say 2 times 2 is what? 4. Very good. 4 pi over 1 times 1 is what? 1. Okay. And so what is our answer? A, B, C, or D? C.
C.
Because remember, top to bottom is the same thing as left to right. So the answer is C. All right, take your pictures, take your pictures. And that's number 3, right? So let me go ahead and write that on there. Y'all better quickly now. I got folks watching. Quickly, 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 quickly. Quickly, quickly. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There we go. Let's go. All right. That's number 3. All right. I want to keep it going. We've got folks watching. All right. Now, the next one is number 4. Let's look at number 4. Number 4 says 1 gallon of paint covers 200 square feet. How many gallons are needed to paint a rectangular floor that is 40 feet by 60? So 40 by 60 means 40 times 60. This is number 4. Okay. Use your calculators, or 4 times 6 is what? What's 4 times 6?
24.
24, and then put your 2 zeros behind it. That's 2,400, right? So number 4, we have 200 square feet covers 1 gallon of paint covers 200 square feet, right? So we know we have 1 gallon of paint covers 200 square feet. So I'm going to put paint at the bottom. And the square feet at the top, 200. And equals to, we know this is what, 2,400 we said? 2,400 square feet. And we're trying to determine how much do we need for that. Okay? We know this is 1 gallon of paint, but we don't know how many gallons over here. All right, so I just set it up as equivalent fractions. Okay, so in that, those of you who've been with me, you know what to do. First of all, for those who don't know, what we did was we multiplied 60 times 80, and we've got 60 times what?
40.
40, yes, 40, not 80. And that's how we came up with 2,400. Okay, because it says 60 by 40, which is the same thing as multiplying. When we're talking about getting the area of something, you multiply length times width. All right, so now that's where we got 2,400. So now cross multiply and divide, right? Boom, boom. 2,400 times 1 is 2,400 equals 200 times x is 200x. Those of you who've been with me in algebra, you know you have to get the variable or the letter by itself. How do we do that? Divide both sides by what? 200, thank you. We divide both sides by 200. Okay, and 2 goes into 24 how many times?
12.
12 times, thank you. 12 equals x. Okay, so our x is 12. What letter is that?
A.
Okay, get your camera set up for those of you who trying to figure it out. Get your camera set up. Take your picture. That's question number 4. Question number 4. Question number 4. All right, you're going to have to just watch this video. Take the picture, take the picture. All right, very good. Next, last one. We're doing good. Quickly, 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 quickly. It's right there, right there, right there. Don't come in front of the camera, right there. All right, that's it. Number 8. This is the last one, and this is for my students who saw the challenge of getting number 8. There were actually 2 questions that were a challenge, and I want to make sure that, okay, excuse me, what was that? Mhm. All right, you must be ready to take your GED math. Yes, that was loud. All right, it's called going to bed on time. That's what that is called. Let's go to number 8. Yeah. All right. It says the figure shows a water tank consisting of a hemisphere on top of a cylinder. If the diameter of the base is 6 feet, what is the surface area of the water tank in cubic feet? Include the base of the tank in your calculations. All right, so I'm going to do a attempt to draw. Let's see if I can do it. How the figure looks. Okay. All right. I'll make it wider. It needs to be wider. All right. Wide. All right. All right. Now, and it's kind of dotted lines. I'll just kind of dot it a little bit. All right. So in that, okay, and that's really a circle. This is 8 feet, right? Now it tells us that the base is 6 feet. And that's our base. All right, that's 6 feet. Now, and that is the diameter, which equals the diameter. So the radius is half the width or the length of the diameter. So half of 6 is what?
3.
3, correct. So if our diameter is 6 feet, then the radius is 3 feet. Okay. Now it tells us to include the base of the tank in your calculation. Everybody get your GED formula sheet out, please. Your GED formula sheet out. Okay, very good. All right. So what you want to do is look under cylinder. Okay, and look for the formula for the cylinder. Everybody's there. It should be kind of in the center. Everybody see that? Okay. So in that, the first thing we want to do is get our base. So we know that to get the base, since we're going to look for the radius, is pi times radius square. Okay. So we're going to do pi times, and I'll do it up here, pi times radius square. Okay, and pi times radius square, which is our pi, we keep the pi in the equation, and radius square is 3 square, which is 3 times 3 is what? 9. Very good. So we're going to do equals pi times 3 square, which is 9. 3 square equals, and we'll do 9 pi. That's what we're doing. We'll do it back the other way. So that's going to be what we consider our base. Okay, that's our base. So the next thing we want to do is, and it's feet square. So let me make sure I put that in there. All right. The next thing we want to do is get our lateral area. Okay. So our lateral area, and the formula for our lateral area is going to be 2 times pi times radius times height. Okay. So it's 2 times pi times radius times the height. So this is, of course, for our base, our lateral area. Okay. 2 times pi times radius times height. Okay. So just pay attention, which is the same thing as 2 times pi. What's the radius? 3. What's the height? There you go, 8. It's right there. That's the height. Okay? Now you just do your equation. Okay? 2 times 3 is what?
6.
Times 8 is what?
48.
There you go, 48. So it equals 48 pi feet square, or square feet, however you want to say it. Okay, so now we have the 9, we have the 8. So the last thing we need to get is our surface area. Okay, and in order to get that, our surface area is 2 times pi times radius square. Okay, our surface area is 2 times pi times radius square, which is 2 times pi, and radius square is 3 square, right? Okay, so 2 times 3 is what? Well, I'm sorry, 3 times 3 is what? Times 2 is what? 18. Very good. 18. Okay, 18 pi feet square. Okay, and again, those of you who are in here, that's okay if you don't get it. This is for, I have some students that are ready for this, and I said I will put on video. So now it's asking for the total surface area. And in order to get that, you're going to add 9 plus 48 plus 18. Okay, and what is that total?
75.
Yes, ma'am. 75 pi feet square.
Just B.
Yes, ma'am. The answer is B. Get your cameras ready right now 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take your picture. Take your picture. All right. Very good. All right, everybody. That's pretty good right there. All right. So now what we did was we worked on mean, median, and mode, right? That was number 2. Then this third one we did was the ratio, and we actually talked about the circumference of a circle, and we also got the area. And then the third one was we determined the amount of gallons that would cover a square footage of 40 by 60. And the last one we did was determine what is the total surface area of a tank with a cylinder and a hemisphere. You had 8 feet for the height, 6 feet for the diameter is what it gave us. All right, so that's it. That's going to be enough geometry live, right? Yes. All right, for those of you who are watching from other classes, rewind this video. We will do this again next week when we reconvene on Monday. Of course, it's a short week, so we only had one day today, this week, to meet, and we will redo this again just to make sure everybody has a grasp on this. But my recommendation is that you watch this over and over and over again. If you need the actual question, you can send an email to me by going to opmtrainingschool.education. If you are not my student, if you are my student, then you have a copy of this information, and you just go to your problems and work through that. Of course, as I've shared with everyone, our schedule for geometry is to get this mastered at least at about 70 to 75% in the next week or so. So I'm highly recommending that you get this and work through this so you can prepare yourself for the geometry portion of the GED math. For more information, again, go to this my website and contact us. If you want to be in class, we have open enrollment on Mondays and Tuesdays mornings and evenings. For more information, the website is www.opmtrainingschool.education. That's opmtrainingschool.education. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe if you're watching through YouTube so you can receive that alert each time we post a video. You guys have a fantastic week, and we can't wait to give you some more GED math so you can go ahead and get that GED.